Welcome to another episode of Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford. We're coming to you from the Ironside Open in Des Moines, Iowa at the Ironside Axe Club. Hundreds of axe throwing enthusiasts are here competing for a lot of hardware. We're going to begin the competition with the amateur portion of the tournament. Before we get things started, let's go over the rules. All of the rings are worth 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 points. And then the red dots are the bullseyes. Those are worth 6 points. You can score 6 points on each bullseye one time per half, and then they will switch sides, and you can score on the bullseyes once again. If you miss the bullseye, but you get it in the ring right around the bullseye that you see there, you get 5 points. The small dot on the outermost ring, that's worth 8 points. It's what's called the kill shot. If you hit it, you get 8 points. If you get it in that little black area around the ring, you get 7 points. If you miss that entirely, you get nothing, Bobby.
You get nothing. So we've got some new rules here, Joey, for the Ironside Open. I'm excited to see how it plays out with these competitive matchups.
Well, our first matchup here today, it's going to be Scott Shell taking on Adrian Ferguson.
Yeah, so our first match here at the Ironside Open. Scott coming in up 1-0. Of course, this is a double elimination, so Adrian looking to stay alive.
Best of 3 series here. The winner stays in the A bracket. The loser goes down to the B bracket.
Yeah,
Good start for Shell.
Yeah, it's a great start there for Shell. A nice bullseye there to get this match started. And we've talked time and time again, Joey, of how important it is to stay in the A bracket. So Adrian really needs to focus up, find that bullseye quick, because that looks like that's another bullseye there for Scott.
Scott Shell off to a hot start here. Back-to-back bullseyes to take a early lead here over Adrian Ferguson.
Yeah, Adrian just off the mark a little bit. Back-to-back 4s. Very close to being the 5 there, though, on his last. So let's see if he can dial it in here. Focusing up, yeah, just letting go of that axe just a little bit too early. Another beautiful throw there by Scott.
Well, what a start here for Scott Shell. It's a unicorn. 3 consecutive bullseyes to build a commanding lead.
I know it's the amateur competition, but it did not take us long to get a unicorn here in the Ironside Open. So Scott off to a very, very hot start, up 18-12 going into the 4th throw. Here's a great throw there by Adrian to get back on track. We'll have to see if that's popping through in the bottom part of the blade there for Scott Shell. Oh, yeah, you can see there from the side cam, Adrian's not hitting that bullseye.
Shell and Ferguson just missing the bullseye there on throw number 4. Still a 6-point advantage for Shell. Throw number 5 coming up right now.
Well, it's got to just be gratifying for Adrian just to kind of work on that throw. You can see there he's off the mark. And it looks like that could possibly be a 3 there for Scott. So never want to rely on your opponent to make a mistake. But rule to 5 with those new big outside rings there, Joey. That was able to catch the lower left-hand side for a 5 there for Scott.
So Scott Shell taking a 9-point lead into the second half of this one. He looks to complete the sweep, staying alive in the A bracket.
Well, and with these rule changes, you know, those outside bullseyes, Joey, that outer ring was a very small 5, so it was high risk, high reward. And I think from Scott's last throw, we can see that there's going to be a little more forgiveness there, being aggressive going for those outside bullseyes.
Well, Scott Shell may be an amateur, but he is not playing like one here at the Ironside Open. 34-23 Shell.
Yeah, he's just doing a great job. And Adrian off the mark again, and we'll see if that's popping through for a 5 there for Scott. But it's going to be very close. It looks like it could be a 4 there, though, from the side cam. And a solid 4 there for Adrian. Ooh, but ruled a 3 there for Scott. So Adrian able to pick up a point, making a 10-point game going into the 8th throw.
I gave him the old announcer's jinx. Scott Shell is a human. He makes mistakes from time to time. Still a 10-point advantage for Shell, though.
Yeah, he's clearly in the driver's seat here. Adrian's going to need to make some big shots and hope Scott makes some mistakes. We'll see if that's going to be a 5 there, popping through in the lower left-hand side of the blade there for Scott. It's very close. Oh, but another 3, so back-to-back 3s, and Adrian able to pick up another point. You have to expect a kill shot attempt here.
Throw number 9 coming up. We'll see if Ferguson goes up for the kill shot. Looks like he's not going to.
I did not see any indication. Bit of a surprise move. Down by 9. You try to get as many points as possible here. Electing to play the board, though. And Scott looks like that could be possibly his third consecutive 3. We'll have to get a closer look. So it is another 3 there. So Adrian able to pick up an extra point, but one can only imagine what it would be like if he went for a kill shot there.
Yeah, so down by 8, now Ferguson will go up for the kill shot. This is his only chance to tie this match and force a sudden death. We'll see if he can hit the kill shot and put a little pressure on Shell.
Oh, and he's off the mark there. Low of the kill shot. Probably just not comfortable enough with the kill shot, Joey.
See what Shell does here.
Looks to play the board and gets back on track with a nice bullseye there.
So Scott Shell with a fantastic start here to this amateur tournament at the Ironside Open. He gets the victory over Adrian Ferguson, 2-0, 49-35 the final here in Game 2.
Yeah, Scott Shell advances with a really impressive score there of 49. You can see he started his match off with a nice unicorn. Did fall off a little bit through the 7th and 9th throw, but those 3s were very close to being 5s. He definitely looks like a competitor that can challenge for that amateur title. And then for Adrian Ferguson, unfortunately for him, he just kind of got off to a slow start. He had that 2 there on his 5th throw, but, he put himself in the driver's seat. In the 9th throw, he was able to pick up a point and making an 8-point game, going for that kill shot. I would have liked to have seen him be aggressive going for that kill shot there in the 9th throw, possibly putting some pressure there on Scott Shell. But as it stands, Adrian will fall to the B bracket, and he'll have to fight his way back.
We are just getting this tournament started. Time for our next match. It's going to be Lisa Gardner taking on MJ Aoul.
Yeah, so first time seeing both these competitors in the first match of their best of 3. So it looks like that's going to be a 4 there for MJ and a 4 for Lisa.
Lisa opting to play right down the middle of the board. MJ going for that outside bullseye.
You see MJ with the double-handed over-the-head throw. We've seen some competitors do that in leagues past. That's a nice throw there. That looks like that could possibly be a bullseye. Maybe a 5 there for MJ.
So MJ with a 5. She takes the lead 9-8.
And so a couple 4s here for Lisa. Really wants to focus up, find that bullseye. There's a nice throw. Looks like that could be a 5 there for her. Oh, MJ holding on to the axis a little bit too long. She's got to hope that that's a 4 there, Joey.
And it's not a 4. It's a 2 for MJ. So big mistake there. And Lisa Gardner taking advantage, throwing a 5. She turns a 1-point deficit into a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and just MJ holding on to that axis a little bit too long. Lisa going for that upper right-hand side bullseye, and MJ, as we've seen time and time again, overcorrected. Let go of it too soon. So a 3 there and another 5 there for Lisa to add to her lead.
So Lisa Gardner extending the lead to 4 here after the first 4 throws.
Yeah, we've seen that time and time again, Joey, with throwers. You hold on to the axe just a little bit too long. You overcorrect and you let go of it too early. It's hard to dial back in, especially with that over-the-head motion. There's a lot of motion going on. Lisa able to get another point there on that last throw.
So Lisa Gardner will take a 5-point lead into the second half as she switches sides with MJ Aoul.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe a change of scenery will help MJ here. Looks like that could be a 5 there for Lisa, and you can see MJ shaking her head. That's going to be a 2 there.
Lisa Gardner keeping her foot on the gas.
Yeah.
This one starting to get away from MJ.
Yeah, we always talk about how important it is when you have the lead to keep putting positive points on the board, keeping your pedal to the metal. And Lisa Gardner is doing exactly that. Could be off the mark there again, but MJ with another consecutive 2. You can see the disappointment in the last couple throws.
See what the ruling is on this one. Looks like it's might be into that 4 ring.
Looks very similar to some of the throws we saw to Scott Shell in our first match. Very close to being a 5. But MJ's got to hope that that's a 3 there for Lisa. But ruled a 2 initially.
So Lisa Gardner is going to take another look and see if she wants to have the head official come get a second opinion on this one.
Yeah, she just called for the second, and why not? trying to get an extra point. Look at Shane Funky coming in here. Getting a look here to determine whether it is a 2 or a 3. I think that's the call in question.
You've got to have wood on both sides of the blade for it to be a 3, and it is a 3. So.
Yep, so ruled a 3 there. So Lisa able to pick up another point here on MJ. If you're an MJ in this position that she's in, you got to be happy that that wasn't a 5. But you just have to focus up and find your throw before match number 2.
So Lisa Gardner leading this one 31-22 with 3 throws to go.
There's a good throw there by MJ. Just to get back on track, you know, with the match getting out of hand, you got to find the little things to build on, and finding her throw would be a huge thing for her going into match number 2.
Yeah, this one it's probably too little too late for her to make a run here, but as you said, you just want to build some positive momentum heading into game number 2.
Well, unlike our first matchup, too, I'd like to see MJ be aggressive, going for those kill shots, putting some pressure on Lisa, but electing to play the middle of the board, probably with some of her erratic throws. She just wants to kind of focus up and find her rhythm, but
we'll see what Lisa Gardner and MJ will do here. Lisa's going up for the kill shot, and so too will MJ.
There you go. So Lisa getting some practice in, knowing that she's got this match going into game number 2. Ooh, and a nice throw there by Lisa. We'll have to see. I think we could have our first 7 here in Battle Axe, Joey.
Yeah, good attempts from Lisa and MJ. Looks like MJ's a little off the mark.
Yeah, MJ's off the mark with a 0, but we do get a 7 there for Lisa Gardner. Our first time seeing a 7 here on Battle Axe.
What a round for Lisa Gardner. She gets the victory in game number 1, 47-31. She's off to a great start.
Yeah, just a really consistent round there for Lisa. You know, you can see she had those 4 consecutive 5s from her 3rd through her 6th throw. She did about 3 there on her 7th throw, but really just consistent round for her. She did go for that kill shot there in the 10th throw and hit a 7. So congratulations to her. She goes up 1-0 in this matchup versus MJ Aoul. But for MJ, what she really has to focus on is just finding her throw. She did a nice job on her 8th and 9th throw to kind of reset her throw and find the middle of the board. And then she was aggressive going for that kill shot. She wasn't off by much. So we'll see if she can carry over those consistent throws to match number 2. I'm expecting a competitive game next time.
Much more still to come here on this episode of Battle Axe. We'll be right back here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford. We're here at the Ironside Open in Des Moines. We're bringing you the amateur portion of the tournament right now. It's off to an exciting start, and take a look at this beautiful facility here at the Ironside Axe Club.
Yeah, the Ironside Axe Club is one of the premier throwing venues, not only in the Midwest, but the country, Joey. They do a tremendous job here, and I'm really excited for this next matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be Bill Hires taking on Trish Auberton.
So our first time seeing both these throwers. This is our first match of a best of 3. And one of the things I love, Joey, too, about coming to these tournaments, all these throwers, we get to see how they throw, learn how they throw, and follow their journey. Looks like a nice throw there by Bill to get the match started. And a 4 there for Trish.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to go about throwing an axe, and, what works for one person, maybe not for another, but whatever works is the recipe for success.
Absolutely. And it looks like that's going to be a 4 there for Bill and a 2 there for Trish. So off the mark, wide right there for Trish on her 2nd throw. But yeah, as you were saying, Joe, everyone's got a different way to approach axe throwing. And we all know it comes down to routine and muscle memory. So however you get there, it doesn't matter as long as the results show. And that's a great throw there by Trish. It looks like it's going to be a bullseye there on the upper right-hand side. And a 3 there for Bill, so don't look now. After 3 throws, you have a 1-point game.
Yeah, consistency is the name of the game. Bill Hires out to a 1-point lead here. Trish Auberton with a bullseye in her last throw.
Looks like that be a 5 there for Bill. It's popping through on the right-hand side, and it looks like that's going to be a 4 there for Trish. And you can see there from my side cam, there's a 5 there for Bill. So able to add to his lead. He has a 2-point lead going into the 5th throw.
Nice response from Bill Hires after throwing that 3. He follows it up with a 5.
Well, I know the Magic Man always talks about how you have to be a goldfish in this game, so Bill doing a nice job of demonstrating that mentality. He threw that 3 there, and then followed up with a nice 5 and a couple nice throws there by both Trish and Bill on the 5th throw.
Are you saying that goldfish have poor memory?
They have a very short memory, Joey.
So Bill Hires takes a 2-point lead into the second half here against Trish Auberton.
Yeah, so we'll see if the change of scenery affects either thrower. Looks like that's going to be a 4 there for Bill. Oh, and I think that blade's popping into the top part there for Trish for a 5. And it is, so Trish able to get another point here. Looks like the change of scenery helped Trish out a little bit.
We have got a good one brewing here between Bill Hires and Trish Auberton. It's a 1-point lead for Hires after the first 6 throws.
Yeah, this match has the feel of whoever's going to blink first, so we'll see who that is. It looks like that's going to be a 5 there for Bill, and off the mark, that looks like that's going to be another 2 there for Trish.
So a big mistake there for Auberton. Can she respond one more time and get back in this one?
Well, she followed up her previous 2 with a bullseye, so we'll see if she can do that. Down by 4 on the 8th throw. Just needs to put some positive points on the board and hope for Bill to make a mistake. Ooh, that could be very close there for both competitors.
Crucial ruling coming here. We'll see if those are into the 5 rings, and they both are.
Wow, you can see there from the action cam, Joey, it was very, very close, and there from the side cam, just popping through in that 5 ring. Trish has to be kicking herself. She would have loved for Bill to throw 3 there. But as it stands, it's still a 4-point game.
2 throws to go here. Can Bill Hires put it away, or does Auberton have a little magic in her?
Looks like that could be a bullseye there for Bill if it's popping through on the left-hand side. And it is ruled that, so Bill able to pick up another point, making it a 5-point game.
Well, time for Auberton to go up for the kill shot. We'll see if she does.
Yeah, we'll see here. You know, Joe, we've already seen it in a couple matches, it being the amateur group here. I don't know how comfortable everybody is with the kill shots, and I did not see any indication there from Trish. That's a nice throw there by both competitors. But ruled a 3 there for Trish.
So Bill Hires getting the win here in game number 1 over Trish Auberton, 48-41, the final.
Yeah, Bill takes a 1-0 lead going into game number 2 with a really nice, consistent score here. You can see he only had that 1-3 there on his 3rd throw. He responded nicely with a 5, but nothing but 5, 6s and that couple 4s there on his scorecard for a nice score of 48. Seems like a really consistent thrower, not too many mistakes. And then for Trish, you know, you saw that she rebounded really well from that 2nd throw. She had a nice bullseye there on her 3rd throw, but then she really put herself behind the 8 ball on that 7th throw when she threw a 2. She did respond nicely with a 5. I would have liked to seen her be really aggressive, going for that kill shot there in the 10th throw. As it stands, she threw a 3, and she falls 48-41. But this is a really even matchup. The final score is not indicative of how close this game was.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing how the rest of that series plays out. Time now for our next matchup. It's going to be Lonnie Kirkley taking on Joe Valois.
So again, a couple new competitors here that we get to see. And Joe on the left and Lonnie on the right. Looks like that could be a 5 there for Joe. At least he's got to be hoping that that's 5. And Lonnie going for that upper left-hand bullseye and very close to being a bullseye, but ruled a 5.
So Lonnie Kirkley out to the early lead here against Joe Valois. Joe just missing the 5 ring.
Yeah, Joe going for the middle of the board. Lonnie choosing to go for that upper left-hand side bullseye. We'll see if he continues with that or if he wants to pop around the board a little bit.
Now Valois goes for the center bullseye once again. Looks like it's into the 5 ring, maybe even a bullseye.
And Lonnie choosing to go for that upper right-hand side bullseye. I think he is off the mark, and that looks like that could be a 3 there for him, and it is. So Joe able to turn the tide here.
Joe Valois now with a 1-point advantage over Lonnie Kirkley after a 3 from Kirkley. Now Joe's going outside. Might have split him, though.
Yeah, we'll have to get a closer look. Oh, yeah, it looks like that could be a 3, possibly a 5 if it's popping through on the bottom part of that blade. And it is, so a bullseye there for Joe. Something with those big axes, they can really cover a lot of ground. So Joe with a nice bullseye there on his third throw.
And from our vantage point, it looked like he might have split right between the two bullseyes, but indeed it is a bullseye for Joe Valois.
And it looks like that could be another bullseye there for him, going for that upper right-hand side bullseye. Looks like that's going to be a 5 there for Lonnie. And as you can see there from the action cam, that was a flush bullseye there from Joe Valois.
So Joe Valois starting to heat up back-to-back bullseyes to build a 3-point advantage.
Yeah, Joe with a chance for what we dare not speak. Lonnie does not have a bullseye yet on his card, but he is still very much in this game. We'll see if he can right the ship, and I don't know. Joe might be off the mark there. Lonnie choosing to go to the middle of the board there, flirting with a 4. And it is ruled a 4, and Joe with a 5, so he's able to pick up another point, Joey.
Yeah, Joe Valois will bring a 4-point lead into the second half as he switches sides with Lonnie Kirkley.
Yeah, we'll see if a change of scenery can right the ship here for Kirkley. As for Joe, really consistent. He only had that 1-4 there on his first throw. Everything else has been 5s and 6s, and returns to the middle of the board for what looks like a 6.
Well, there's a flush bullseye for Lonnie Kirkley's first bullseye of the match.
Yeah, it's got to be a good feeling for Lonnie to hit his first bullseye there on his 6th throw. Unfortunately for him, though, Joe threw a 6 as well, so Lonnie is still down by 4 with 4 throws to go.
3 bullseyes in his last 4 throws for Joe Valois. Might have made it a 4th.
We'll have to see there from the action cam. Joe's got to be hoping that that blade's popping through in the top part. But it looks like from the action cam, Joey, that that's going to be a 3. Ooh, and it's a very close throw there for Lonnie as well. So ruled a 5 there for Lonnie and a 3 for Joe.
The big turn of events here as Lonnie Kirkley picks up a couple of points on Joe to make this one a lot more interesting.
Yeah, from Lonnie's throw, I'm kind of surprised Joe didn't want to challenge that a little bit, see maybe if that was actually a 3, because now we have a 2-point game going into the 8th throw. And Joe going for that lower right-hand side bullseye. We'll see what Lonnie wants to do. He wants to go for that upper right-hand side bullseye. Elects to play the middle of the board, and looks like that's going to be a 5 popping through on the top part of that blade. So a couple 5s, no ground gain, no ground lost.
So Valois happy to trade points here with Kirkley. With 2 throws to go, he's up by 2. We'll see who can come out on top in this one. Another thriller here on Battle Axe.
Yeah, 2-point game. Looks like they're getting a score check here, seeing what bullseyes are open. Of course, the strategy of going for the kill shot here is on the table. It depends on how comfortable both these players are. Lonnie wants to get it all back in one throw, or he wants to try to get at least a point here in the next throw to really determine whether he goes for the kill shot or not. But Joe playing that lower left-hand side bullseye, I think he at least has a 5, possibly a bullseye. Oh, you can see the top part of the blade there for Joe. Ruled a bullseye for both competitors, Joey.
A big bullseye from Valois and a bigger answer from Kirkley. And now Kirkley will go up for the kill shot, down by 2.
It'll be interesting to see. Joe only has that 1-4 there on his scorecard. Going to play the middle of the board. Looks like that could be a 5.
So Kirkley will have a kill shot attempt for the win.
Yeah, this is huge. We'll see here. Lonnie lining it up, of course, taking his time, knowing the high pressure of this throw. Oh, and I think that's a 7 there, Joey.
A crucial ruling coming here.
Oh, and ruled a 4 there for Joe. So here we were thinking that was going to be a 5, and you can see there from the action cam. With the 7, it would have been tied, but with the 4 call for Valois, Lonnie takes the victory.
Lonnie Kirkley with ice in his veins. He throws the big kill shot, hitting a 7 to get the victory here in game number 1. What a thriller this was.
Yeah, this is a really crazy matchup here because Lonnie was definitely chasing Joe this entire match here, and they were trading points down the stretch, and Lonnie being aggressive, going for that kill shot, and Joe was off the mark ever so slightly on that 10th throw. That could have been a 5 if Lonnie would have hit the 7 and Joe would hit a 5. We would have had a tie game going into sudden death. So for Lonnie, he escapes with the victory, 1-0 over Joe, but really consistent, thrilling match from both these competitors. I'm excited to see how the next game plays out. But for both these competitors, they look like they're very evenly matched, really consistent throwers, and I'm excited to see this next matchup.
Yeah, we'll bring you the finish to this series later on Battle Axe. We'll be right back here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here at the Ironside Open in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford. We've got the amateur tournament underway. We brought you a lot of the first games of several different series, and now we're going to bring you the conclusion to those series here in the second half of the show.
Yeah, we're going to follow along with the matchups here. We'll see who can stay alive and who can advance, but been thrilling matchups so far, Joey, and we have another one on deck.
Yeah, it's going to be Bill Hires taking on Trish Auberton. Game number 2 here between Auberton and Hires.
Yeah, Bill was able to come away with the victory in the first matchup, 48-41. But again, that score not really indicative of how close that game was. Trish just with a couple mistakes there in her first matchup. We'll see if she can remedy that and force a game 3. Looks like that's going to be a couple 4s there for both competitors.
So Bill Hires and Trish Auberton, a couple of 4s to get this one started. Hires won the last matchup 48-41. Had a couple of bullseyes peppered into his score.
Oh, and Bill going for that upper right-hand side bullseye, as is Trish. And it looks like a couple of really nice bullseyes there from both competitors on their second throw. So as it stands, they start off in the middle of the board, going to the upper right-hand side. We'll see what bullseye they decide to attack next, if they want to go for the lower right-hand side or if they're going upper left. It looks like Bill was going for that lower right-hand side bullseye, but he is off the mark with a devastating throw. And that is a 5 there for Trish, a 2 there for Bill. So Trish is in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, Auberton taking full advantage of the 2 from Bill Hires. She's got a 3-point advantage here after the first 3 throws.
Yeah, Bill just holding on to the axe just a little bit too long. We'll see if he can make the appropriate correction.
Yeah, the key here is not overcorrection.
Exactly, and choosing to go for that upper left-hand side bullseye, as is Trish. We'll have to see. Trish is hoping if it's popping through on the top part of that blade, but ruled a couple 5s. Very close there for Trish, though.
Yeah, Trish Auberton with a nice start here in game number 2.
Yeah, so we'll see if Bill wants to go for that lower left-hand side bullseye there on this 5th throw. And we'll see how Trish wants to attack the board. And it looks like that's exactly what Bill was doing. And Trish lined up for that lower left-hand side bullseye as well. Kind of mirroring their approach to throwing here, Joey, are both these competitors. But a 5 and a 3 there for Trish, so all of a sudden we have a 1-point game going into the 6th throw. Trish with a devastating 3 there on her 5th throw.
Well, the last game was close between these two, and we've got another nail-biter brewing here between Hires and Auberton.
Turn in the middle of the board. I expect Trish to do the same. Trish is going to be hoping it's popping through on the left-hand side of that blade, but ruled a couple 4s. So really close throw there for Trish. She's getting a closer look, but she accepts the ruling. Still a 1-point game, 26-27, going into the 7th throw.
You can tell Auberton and Hires are having a lot of fun here, which is really what this is all about.
Absolutely. You can feel it in the air, Joey. Everyone's having a great time, seeing old friends, having great competitions. A couple 5s there for both competitors. But again, we didn't see Trish go for that upper right-hand side bullseye there on her 7th throw, choosing to go for that lower right-hand side bullseye, so mixing it up a little bit. And Bill is off the mark. Oh, you can see him kind of looking at his hand. I wonder if it kind of slipped out.
Big opportunity here for Auberton. Looks like she took advantage.
Oh, that's so crucial to take advantage of your opponent's mistake. She's able to get 2 points here, making it a 3-point game, 35-38 going into the 9th throw. So kudos to Trish on really taking advantage of Bill's 4 there.
A little breathing room for Auburton. The pressure on now for Bill Hires.
Well, and I like now that Trish has the lead. She's waiting for Bill to throw, keeping that pressure on him, but a couple great throws there by both competitors, matching bullseyes. But we all know the head games that are involved with axe throwing. So Bill going for the kill shot here on his 10th throw, down by 3. He's got to hit this and hope that Trish hits a 4 or less. Oh, and it looks like he is off the mark, and Trish going for that lower left-hand side bullseye for a nice 5.
Well, Trish Auberton forcing a game 3 in this series. She gets the victory here in game number 2, 49-41.
Yeah, so this matchup, 49-41, Trish comes out the victor. We saw in our first matchup, Joey, it was 48-41 with Bill coming out the victor. So very similar score. And as you can see there from the scorecard, Joey, Trish only had that 1-3 there on her 5th throw. She did a really nice job. Once she got the lead, she did a really good job of keeping the pedal to the metal and putting some pressure there on Bill. And then for Bill, it was really that devastating 2 he threw on that 3rd throw, which put Trish in the driver's seat. But for him, he was able to rebound nicely with a 5 there. He did have that 1 bullseye there on his 9th throw, and then being aggressive going for that kill shot on the 10th throw was off the mark, but not by much. But this has been a great matchup so far. I'm excited to see the rubber match.
Yeah, we'll bring you game 3 of this series coming up later here on the show. Right now, it's going to be Lisa Gardner taking on MJ Aoul in game number 2.
We'll see if MJ can follow in Trish's footsteps here and force a game number 3. Oh, but you can see there, MJ's taking that erratic axe into the second game on her 1st throw.
But no damage done because Lisa Gardner throws it 2 as well. So a shaky start here for Gardner and Aoul.
Yeah, Lisa letting go of the axe just a little bit too early. MJ holding on to it a little too long.
If they can just meet in the middle, it'll be good.
Exactly. Lisa doing her part. Looks like that's a 4, and there's that overcorrection again there from MJ. You can see she's dejected.
So a 4 from Gardner to give her the lead.
And we saw MJ towards the end of the first matchup try to right the ship, so to speak, and find the center of that board. But for her, this is not a good start. Trying to move closer to the middle of the board. Lisa doing a nice job of consistently finding that 4 ring. We talk about the progression of a thrower all the time, but Joey, one of the first things you have to figure out is your release point and what works for you. And for MJ right now, she's struggling to find that consistent release point.
Still only down by 4, though, so still plenty of time to get back in this one, but she's got to figure things out quickly.
And a 5 there for Lisa and a 3. So MJ moving in the right direction, but unfortunately for her, Lisa is putting some positive points on the board. 15-9 going into the 5th throw. We've seen crazier things happen, Joey, so MJ just has to focus up. There's a great throw. That's got to be a huge confidence boost for her. But ruled a 5 there for Lisa.
And Gardner just getting into that 5 ring. So she'll take a 7-point lead into the second half here. If you're Gardner, you can just probably cruise to victory if you keep doing what you've been doing.
Exactly.
But you also want to just, that one really getting away from MJ.
Yeah, Lisa doing a really nice job of living in the middle of the board after that first 2 on the board there for her. She's just been peppering it in, finding that 4 and 5 ring. And then MJ, it's just kind of all coming apart for her, unfortunately. She's down by 10 with 4 throws to go. She just needs to focus up and find some positive points.
Yeah, the key for both Gardner and Aoul is going to be just finishing this one in a positive way that
Correct.
you can carry some momentum into your next match, because this isn't over for Aoul. She'll go down to the B bracket, and then Gardner's going to stay alive in the A bracket.
Yeah, and Lisa's doing a really nice job of consistently finding the middle of the board. And then it's just a tales old time. It's the overcorrection that MJ is experiencing right now. And, you know, she's just struggling to find the middle of the board, struggling to find that release point. So you just want anything to build on, to your point, Joey. 32-16 going into 9th throw. I'd like to see her maybe go for some kill shots here. Both competitors, actually. You know, get some practice in while you can. And that's exactly what Lisa was doing. We missed the call there, but being aggressive going for that kill shot.
Yeah, it's all about getting comfortable here at the Ironside Open. This is a really big stage for these amateurs. It's about just finding your rhythm and consistently scoring.
Yep, and Lisa with the call there, going for the kill shot there on the 10th throw. Off the mark, a little down and to the left, and there's a good throw there for MJ. Hopefully something positive she can build on going into the B bracket.
So it's Lisa Gardner winning the series 2-0 over MJ Aoul. 32-25 the final here in game number 2.
Yeah, Lisa with a really nice job of rebounding from that 2 that she threw on the first throw. Nothing but 4s and 5s after that. No bullseyes there on the scorecard, but she advances in the A bracket nonetheless. I do like that she was aggressive going for those kill shots there on the 9th and 10th throw, knowing that she had the victory in hand. So a score of 32 for her. I know she'd like that to be a little bit better, but for her, she survives and advances in the A bracket, which we know is so crucial in this tournament format. And then for MJ, she started off with those 3 consecutive 2s. She had the 3 and the 4, and then the wheels just kind of came off the wagon, so to speak, with those 3 consecutive 1s. She was just overcorrecting, holding on the axis a little bit too long, letting go of it a little bit too early, and just couldn't find that solid release point. But for her, she did throw that nice 5 there on her 10th throw. We'll see if she can carry that over to the B bracket.
We've got a couple more matches to wrap up a couple of series here on Battle Axe. We'll bring it to you straight ahead here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford here in Des Moines at the Ironside Open. It's been a great start to this amateur tournament, and we've still got a couple of matches to bring you here on this episode at the Ironside Axe Club in Des Moines.
Yeah, it's a tremendous venue here. It's been a tremendous tournament so far. We have a lot more matches to come up, and I'm excited to see the next one.
Yeah, it's going to be a Game 3 between Bill Hires and Trish Auberton.
Yeah, so the rubber match here in this matchup. Trish doing a great job of coming back and taking game number 2 to force a game 3. Both players, minimal mistakes from both these competitors, but when the mistakes have been made, each thrower has done a really nice job of capitalizing on it.
Well, the best words in Battle Axe, Game 3. We'll see who comes out on top here in this one between Auberton and Hires. The winner stays alive in the A bracket. The loser goes down to the B bracket in this double elimination tournament.
Well, and as a thrower, you have to love getting these really competitive matchups early on in the tournament. You know, you get those juices flowing. You know, you don't really skate to victory. You're fighting for everything.
Yeah, the competition can really bring out the best in these axe throwers, and that's exactly what it did in Auberton in game number 2.
Well, and we know the farther and farther you advance in the A bracket, you know, the more high-pressure throws you have, the more competitive the matches are. So if you can get that going quickly, it can really be to your benefit. It looks like that could be a 5 there for Bill. It's popping through on the left-hand side of that blade.
And the biggest advantage to the A bracket is just staying in it, because
Correct.
Once you go down to the B bracket, it's win or go home, and it's a gauntlet of matches if you want to work your way back all the way to the A bracket.
Well, there's a number of competitors that, you know, travel very far to get here to the Ironside Open and only play 2 matches, Joey. So everyone wants to avoid that at all costs. And there's a mistake there from Bill. We'll see how Trish can capitalize, and looks like she's going to pick up at least 1 point. So she is able to pick up a point, even throwing a 3, but I bet she'd admit she'd like to have a 5 there.
So we're all tied up, 16 apiece here between Hires and Auberton after 4 throws.
Yeah, so we'll see how Bill responds after that 2. And looks like that's going to be a 3 there. You can see him shaking his head a little bit. And there's a nice throw there by Trish. See if it's popping through the right-hand side of that blade for a bullseye. But rule to 5. So Trish able to take a 2-point lead going into the turn here.
Well, like we've seen between these two in the other games, they're going back and forth here, and it's Auberton taking a 2-point lead into the second half.
And it looks like that's a good start there for Bill after the turn. Looks like that could be a 5. And a great throw there by Trish. We'll see if that's going to be a bullseye if it's popping through on the right-hand side. Ooh, but rule to 5. Very close throw.
Stays a 2-point lead for Auberton. 4 throws to go.
Yeah, for Bill, he's just got to keep finding that consistent release point, He's very much in this game. He survived his mistake that he made, and he's just got to hope that Trish makes one and he can capitalize. Ooh, but it looks like that could be popping through in the bottom part of the blade there for Trish, and a bullseye there for Bill.
Yeah, our first bullseyes of this game number 3 between Auburton and Hires. Still a 2-point lead for Auburton, now with just 3 throws to go.
Yeah, so a couple great throws there by both competitors. Bill going for that upper right-hand side bullseye, hoping that that's going to be a 5 if it's popping through on the bottom part of that blade. Oh, and I think Trish just snuck that 5 ring in there at the top part of her blade.
Big ruling coming here. Couple of 5s, so Auburton happy to trade points here with Hires as the sand in the hourglass is running out for Hires. He's only down by 2, though. Still time to get back in this one, but he's got to finish strong and hope for a mistake from Auburton.
Well, Joey, I just got to say that we've seen so many throws that with that larger 5 ring on the outside bullseyes, those throws would have been 3s. So a lot of players just kind of sneaking that 5 in there. So these new rules definitely creating more competitive, closer matchups here. That's a no doubt 5 there for Trish, and a 5 there for Bill as well.
So we'll see if Bill Hires goes up for the kill shot. You would think he would. Down by 2. Yep.
There's the indication right there. No guts, no glory. If he hits the kill shot, he gets 8 points. If Trish hits a 6, we will be going into sudden death. So very high pressure throw for both competitors. Oh, and Trish did it.
Hires has to hit the kill shot here.
Oh, it's so close. He didn't hit the kill shot. It'll be all for naught, because even if it's a 7, he was still going to lose, because a great throw there by Trish.
Auburton pumps her fist as she gets the victory here in game number 3, sending Bill Hires down to the B bracket. 48-40 the final here in this decide all game 3.
What a tremendous matchup. I mean, we saw 3 great competitive close matchups between Bill Hires and Trish Auburton, and Trish comes out the victor, taking the matchup 2-1. 48-40 was the final score. Trish survived those 2 consecutive 3s she threw on her 3rd and 4th throw, and really capitalized on Bill's 3 that he threw on his 5th throw. But man, for both these competitors, it's a shame to see either one have to go down to the B bracket, because Bill threw a great matchup as well. Again, all these matchups have been very, very close. Their first match was 48-41, 41-49 match 2, and now we have 40-48. So really consistent throwers, tremendous matchup, and congratulations to both.
Still one more match to go here on this episode of Battle Axe. It's Lonnie Kirkley against Joe Valois. Game number 2 here, with Kirkley leading this one 1-0.
Yeah, Lonnie coming back and snatching victory from the mouth of defeat in game number 1.
And Kirkley trailed for the entire match until he threw a 7 on his kill shot attempt on the final throw to get the win.
Yeah, and Joe was very, very close to hitting a 5, which would have forced sudden death. So we'll see how that momentum affects both competitors going into match number 2. But a couple 6s after their first throw.
Strong start here for Kirkley and Valois.
And again, we mentioned, being a goldfish in these tournaments. So Joe responding nicely with a bullseye there on his first throw. And looks like that's going to be a bullseye there for him as well on his second throw, as is a bullseye there for Lonnie.
What a start here for Kirkley and Valois. Back-to-back bullseyes.
Both with a chance for what we dare not speak. So it looked like Joe, though, put that defeat in the back of his mind, focusing up. Really strong start to game number 2 here. Looks like that's going to be a bullseye as well there for Joe. So he's got a unicorn. And, oh, yeah, you can see the red popping through on the left-hand side of the blade. So double unicorns, Joey.
How about this start from Kirkley and Valois? They are on fire. 3 straight bullseyes for both.
Yeah, this has the tone of who's going to blink first. Both competitors really locked in on that board. Whereas Trish and Bill, you could see they were kind of joking back and forth with each other. This is a pretty intense, locked in on the board competition.
Looks like a 4th consecutive bullseye here for Kirkley, and it is.
And rule of 4 there for Joe. Very similar throw that he had on the 10th throw in their first matchup. Very close to being a 5. But Lonnie with an early 2-point lead going into the 5th throw. And it's just important for Lonnie to keep putting the pressure on Joe. Looks like that could be a 5 there for Lonnie. Oh, and that's a bullseye there for Joe.
So Joe Valois with a bullseye to get back within a point here as Kirkley misses the center bullseye. Typically, that center bullseye is the easiest to hit, but it's not always the case.
No, it's all about comfort. You know, with these outside bullseyes, they've been implemented long enough. Some players prefer going for those outside bullseyes first. Lonnie choosing to go for that upper left-hand side bullseye. That could be a bullseye if it's popping through the bottom part of that blade. Kind of tough to see there with the shadows, but we'll wait for the ruling. But it looks like that could be a 5 there for Joe. And a couple 5s, so no ground gain, no ground lost. Joe getting a close look. Might want to get a second knowing how crucial points are, but elects to accept the ruling.
Still a 1-point lead for Kirkley. 4 throws to go. Pressure's on here for Joe Valois.
Looks like that could be a... We'll have to see. Joe is throwing with that big axe head, so could be popping through in the bottom part of the blade there for a 5. Just a really close call here for Lonnie. Ooh. Wow, a 3 there for Lonnie, so the tides have turned, Joey.
What a turn of events here. Joe Valois now has the lead. Kirkley getting a closer look at it. He's not going to contest it, so it's Valois leading by 1 now with 3 throws to go.
Yeah, Joe doing a nice job of capitalizing on Lonnie's mistakes. 37-38.
Could we have another game 3 here on Battle Axe?
Looks like that's going to be a 4 there, so Lonnie kind of falling apart, so to speak, here. And a 5 there, so Joe able to get another point, which is so crucial in a matchup like this. You know, you'd love to trade points, but obviously you want to keep adding to your lead to the best of your ability.
A little breathing room for Joe Valois. Can he put it away and force a game 3, or will Lonnie Kirkley come back to put this one away in 2?
Well, this is a situation too, Joey, where I think once we get to groups 1 and 2, in our later matchups here, we're going to see players being aggressive going for that kill shot there on the 9th throw. I saw no indication from Lonnie that he was going for the kill shot here. That puts tremendous pressure on your opponent if you can hit that kill shot. Get a closer look here. So a couple 5s, so all coming down to this last throw.
So Joe Valois with a 2-point advantage. Kirkley's going up for the kill shot. No indication from Valois.
This is the same situation we were in game number 1, Joey. Joe is up by 2. Lonnie going for the kill shot. We'll see. I'm assuming Lonnie's going to let Joe throw first here. All the pressure's on Joe. Oh, and almost a carbon copy throw.
So Joe Valois leaves the door open. Kirkley can win this one with a 7 or the kill shot.
Can he do it again, Joey? Going for that lower left-hand side bullseye. I think he got it.
It's awfully close again. It's going to come down to this ruling.
Wow.
And it's another 7 for Lonnie Kirkley.
Can you believe it?
Lucky number 7, Lonnie. He does it again with the 7 on the final throw to get the victory here. 53-52. Kirkley takes the series in 2.
So back-to-back games of winning on the kill shot 7th throw here for Lonnie Kirkley. Just a tremendous matchup back and forth by both competitors. You got to feel for Joe because he had this matchup locked in. Going for that 10th throw, he hit that 4, almost a carbon copy throw that he had in the first match. If only you hit it at 5, we would have gone to sudden death. But as it stands, Lonnie Kirkley comes out the victor by the hair of his chinny chin, 53-52. Just a tremendous matchup. Again, just like with Bill and Trish, you'd hate to see either of these opponents have to go down to the B bracket after these exciting matchups. But as it stands, Lonnie advances and Joe will fall down to the B bracket.
Well, what a thrilling start to this amateur tournament here on Battle Axe. For Bobby Bradford and the entire MC22 crew, I'm Joey Danya signing off from the Ironside Open. We'll see you next time here on Battle Axe.